You know what? You're watching Everfree Radio. Radio! Woo!
And now, Everfree Radio presents Stay Brony, my friends, with DustyKat.
How you doing, everybody? Let me turn that down a little bit because that's loud in my ear. This is DustyKat once again from San Jose, California. I hope it's gorgeous where you are because it's beautiful today here. Not too hot, not too cold. Yesterday, you saw on the bumper, Caradwin and I went over to Santa Cruz, California, to the boardwalk and rode the rides and walked in the surf and had a great time. It was awesome. You guys need to get out. You know, we're getting into fall now. You got hay rides and apple orchards to go to and all these little regional places that you can go see all this great stuff. Don't stay in the house all day. You know, go check out some stuff. And with me tonight, for your enjoyment, we have 3 of the upper echelon, if you want to call it that. People from Everfree Northwest, the convention, and that would be Bejoty, one Austin Heaty, Royal Coat, Hans Ziegler, and Galileo. Galileo? Where's Galileo? Hello. And that's Gerard Watson are with me this evening. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Yay.
Hello.
Nice to be here. I have put together a little video for everybody who either went to the con or missed the con. I put one of these together for the week after I came back, but hey, let's do it again.
Oh boy.
New music, new videos, new people, so we're going to do it again, so everybody can get a look-see at what you missed if you didn't get to go, and what you get to look forward to for next year. So, with that ado, we will be right back.
Different from the rest of the world. He chose the lovely every time. With a smile, he would bravely soldier on. Yeah, was that such a crime? He did not wear cynicism well. Chose the lovely every time, and they cut him down. The world cut him down. Yeah, being peaceful was his crime. And I don't understand the way we all behave in this world of ours, in this world we live in. We're alone from Equestria, we're a long, long way. We're a long way from Equestria. body. Yeah, she was nothing but kind, and the world told her she was wrong. Yeah, there must be something wrong with her mind, and she was just a child in long sleeves, just a child looking for love. Yeah, all the grown-ups in the world told her she was wrong to believe in something we're all dreaming of. And I don't understand the wicked things we do in this world of ours, in this world we live in. We're a long way from Equestria. We're a long, long way. We're a long way from Equestria. A long, long way. And I will never give up the fight. I will never surrender to the hate. I know this world ain't perfect at all, but the world is just what we create. So let's make love, and let's make friends, and let's take time to make amends. Let's make this world more like Equestria. Equestria. We're a long way from Equestria, such a long way. We're a long way from Equestria, a long, long way. A long, long way.
It's a long way to Equestria. Oh, you're back. Ooh, Derby, stop. Stop. Okay. Stop. I don't know how you keep getting knots in your tail. All you do is sit on the shelf. Jeez, Derby. Anyway, we're back. A little sippy, sippy, a little brushy, brushy. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Pretty well, pretty well.
Hey, it's now been, what, about a month since the con's over. Why don't you break it down for us, and how many people showed up, and how did we do on, you know, hotel room sales, and how did we do on all that stuff? Break it down for us.
Goodness, it feels like the con just ended. I'm still getting.
We're still recovering.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, Bejoty, I think the official tally was somewhere around 1,500. Is that correct? Hello.
Well, yeah, the attendees around 1,400. Everything else brings about 1,500. Yeah.
Yeah, with all the media and sort of thing, and we actually sold out all of the hotel rooms, if I remember properly, as well.
Oh, awesome.
So, you know, our entire block, all of our blocks, which was really encouraging.
Oh, absolutely. That's awesome. So, was it to a point, I know that you had, you know, this idea of a very small little con, right? It's going to be, it's going to be over here at the holiday.
It was planning to be around 300 to 400 people.
Yeah, so how, from a, tell these people from a running the con standpoint, okay, where you're going to put on a party. It's sort of like putting on a party at your parents' house, and all of a sudden the entire varsity football team finds out about it and they bring all their friends. Right?
And then you have to start using all of your friends' houses also?
Then you have to use all your friends' houses that link all the backyards together to make this one big, huge party. Tell
that is a good way to put it.
Yeah,
really.
tell the listening audience about trying to herd flaming cats.
Do you want to do this, Bejoty, or should I can talk about the programming stuff?
Oh, you can do that for sure. You were here doing a lot of the herding of the flames.
Yeah, when we ended up, at least as far as the two venues go, you know, we had a lot more anticipation than we realized. So when we ended up having to gate another hotel, the real big trick was herding the events around and reshifting the schedule with, 3 months to go was probably the most nightmarish thing I've ever had to do, because it just, it's basically like, we've been working on this for 4 months, time to throw it out and do it in a month. So the back end, I guess, is hard to describe. It's just way more work than I ever expected, but it's probably also one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever been through. So
yeah, so it's just so you can tell the listening audience, it's not just I'm going to sit down with a pencil in an hour and just fill in these boxes. It's not that easy.
When it comes the way that I described it to these guys when we were getting down to a month to go was, particularly with the guests and people had different requirements and that sort of thing. It's like doing one of those logic puzzles,
right,
where you have a bunch of rules and you have to find them, put all the things in the right boxes, but they can change them. They can change the rules as you're going through them.
Yes.
So it's kind of, it was a little bit mind-bending after a while.
Yes, I can't even imagine how it would be to sync up all of those VAs and their travel schedules and all of that, and then at the last minute getting a VA that wants to come or something like, just sort of shifting it around within like the weekend. I saw you guys run around with
wants to go to a soccer game.
I saw you guys run around with your tails on fire most of the weekend.
Well, you definitely have to be rather adaptable, and you also unfortunately have to learn when to say no.
Yeah, that's something that we learned pretty quickly. That you just have to. Sometimes you just can't. You can make all the accommodations you can, but after a certain point, it just
don't work.
You're gonna break down everything if you make any more. So.
Been there, done that. I've worked on a couple of conventions myself. Did everybody pretty much have a good time from the VA standpoint and the guests? Tell us a little bit about how their weekends went from what they're telling you.
Yeah, well, from everything that we saw, the large majority of all of the attendees and all of our guests had an absolute blast. Like I've heard nothing but fantastic reviews and of people just saying, I am definitely coming back next year, and you're just constantly asking us when we're going to open registration, when we're going to open.
Yes, and that's going to be this Wednesday.
Yep.
Yes, it is going to be this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
September 19th.
September 19th. What time?
7 p.m., I believe.
7 p.m. Pacific?
Yep.
7 p.m.
Pacific time. So that would be 9 o'clock Eastern. So, yes. So, get your fingers ready on the button, people.
East would be 10, yes. 10.
10. Oh, yeah. Eastern would be 10. So, just get ready with the button. So, what is, now that we've gone to the spacious Hilton down the street, actually, the Hilton is like in between the hill, right? It's like in the middle.
Basically, that hill that we were there, that's the, if you look to your right when you were going up it, it's that entire conference center right there.
Yes.
There's a main entrance there, and then there's also an entrance through the hotel,
yes,
which we also have extra event space in the hotel itself, which is where we're gonna put off registration and that sort of thing, so that people will have an easier time flowing through.
Oh, good. I was really, when I got to the Hilton, I was going, okay, Hilton's okay. Then I walked over to the other hotel and I went, wow, I really wish it was all here.
Yeah.
Gorgeous hotel.
Yeah, the convention side of things.
Yeah.
The convention center is very beautiful. Yeah. And just to make one last statement, I've actually gotten to talk to some of the agents and such for our VAs personally.
Yes.
they had a fantastic time.
Oh, awesome.
They had told us that they were nitpicking to find anything wrong. So we were very encouraged, and we look forward to seeing them again. Really
awesome. The next year, one bowl of M&M's, no brown, and I think they'll be fine.
Hopefully.
Cool. So, are you, because of what is the registration cap for next year?
Our tentative registration cap is going to be, I think it's just about almost triple of what we had this past year, around 4,000.
Ooh.
I would say a safer conservative is probably 3 to 3.5. The event facility is capable of holding 4,000, but but as the event and programming guy, I'm the one that had to, that had to calculate all the space and make sure the crowd was moving effectively.
Right.
Which is true. There's two sides. One is a fire code cap where we technically couldn't legally go more than that number, but then you also have to consider flow space and just making all the attendees happy. Right. There's a limit that we can go to where we can functionally still run the convention, but take a few hundred off of that, and then suddenly everyone isn't waiting in 3-hour lines, and it just makes everything smoother.
Everything's smooth, yeah.
So if you notice a smaller number than expected, then it's all for the best. Don't worry.
Right. We had a little registration problem earlier, this year. Never got the gist of what that was, whether it was whether the computer program broke or something happened. Me and the rest of the EFR guys were trying to entertain people in the room for most of the time we were waiting. So that is that all going to be fixed up? What's the plans on registration for next year?
Oh, that is more than cleared up. There were a few unfortunate events that were half venue specific and half just freak things that we could not have expected to happen, but we've learned from what happened on Friday of this last con, so the things that happened are definitely not on the table for 2013.
Yeah, I'll concur. It was a kind of a cascade of issues that just ended up hitting all at once and doing more damage than they might have done individually. Okay. So we're glad that all the people in that registration line were probably some of the coolest people in the world, and like we've said before, the Bronies are probably the best people to run a convention for because they can be happy singing, which
pretty much, or watching idiots blow kazoos.
Or whatever. It's just but I've actually been talking with our head of registration and he revamped the system and has been stress testing it, pretty extensively. So we'll and spreading the work out a little bit more, so there's less points of failure. Yeah. So that's it'll be. We think that it should be perfectly fine by the time, knock on wood, by the time that the convention actually rolls around.
Good.
Definitely. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a preview for the system itself, and it fixed up some things that should make everything go a lot faster.
Cool. I hope he's feeling better. He was the gentleman who got taken away that morning. I hope. I heard.
Yeah, he's actually doing much better.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, we don't ever want to see anybody get hurt at these things or stressed out from just working them. We're all supposed to be having a good time. So, let's see, what else? So, do you have any commitments yet from guests for next year?
This is pretty early on.
I know it's pretty early. I know it's pretty early, but we're here to talk. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, many of the guests have at least expressed a lot of interest in returning.
Oh, good.
I believe Tabitha and Michelle and a few others, but of course we're still solidifying the con structure for next year and making sure that everything goes well. So that needs to happen before we really start the nitty-gritty of negotiations, that sort of thing, to get the guests back in again.
Okay. So when in the con planning stage would happen? I mean, right now are you guys still in firefighting from last year, or are you completely into planning for next year?
We're kind of still in con wrap-up mode. and kind of transitioning into the next one, into the next con. I expect that the other guys can chime in. I expect that we'll probably, if not later this year, probably early next, be able to say first, then we get a good chunk of our guests out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the exception of maybe one or two, I wouldn't expect guest announcements to really start picking up until at least like late winter at the earliest.
Late winter, so January, February, end of January.
Well, actually, I'd say end of January probably.
Yeah.
Is a good rough estimate.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Hilton being the main hotel, does it have enough rooms for a room block for that many people, or are we going to be spreading out to the other hotels?
Well, we might have to see. From what I hear, they have a lot of space, but it's all a fluid beast. It depends on how many people want to just be in a room by themselves.
Yeah, it has to do with that the Hilton is actually quite large.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, we might end up having to have an overflow hotel. It's entirely based on, like Bejoty said,
mm-hmm.
how many people book rooms for how many people, and
right.
And if people actually want to stay at another hotel,
right.
I don't know if they do, but that's
due to price, or if they're local, or something like that.
Or all the flow, or all that, all those reasons. Everybody has a different one.
Mm-hmm.
The good news, the most likely overflow hotel is just a 2-minute walk across the street.
The nice one next door.
Yeah.
Did you guys warn the 7-Eleven on the corner that they were going to get bombarded?
We did.
We tried to.
Yeah, I went up and talked to their manager the week beforehand because we thought we'd let them know, and apparently they didn't get the message.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We had talked to them beforehand, and then they just, I don't know that they ever, I don't know what they did, what they thought, but...
Yeah, because we went in there and the guy behind the counter was just going...
Yeah, I noticed they had actually their local manager there working all weekend to make sure they're running smoothly.
Yeah, they didn't run out of anything, which was good, but it was like the people that were working it were kind of flustered.
Yeah, they might have got to them just in time.
Let's see, what else can we talk about? Hey, how did we do? Everfree Radio, according to you guys. Let's get your opinion of how we did for you.
I think you guys did an awesome job. Definitely like talking to Final Draft. He was on the ball and just looked like he was trying to cover as much as he could with the convention. I saw you guys around. I saw you, Dusty, talking to people. I saw EQI just talking to everybody that they could, Mm-hmm. So you guys were very busy, which was awesome.
Cool, because we like to bring it to the people. So anybody who can't be there, we like to give them, the feeling of being there. So
we're really grateful. I think probably the coolest thing that we got to do because you guys were there was live stream debug. I think that was probably one of the, if not the coolest, little moments at the con.
Yeah, it didn't go over as well as we'd hoped because of timing, but once it did happen, it was kind of cool. So
well, I mean, that essentially it's kind of spectacular to me to think that two conventions basically a world apart,
mm-hmm.
Receiving the same thing. It just was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a good time doing it, and we hope we can do it again.
Does anyone happen to know what the viewer cap was in the live stream over the weekend?
Oh, it was
the
stupid numbers. It was it was 2,000 something like that.
Nice.
It was stupid numbers. I mean, especially during the panels, especially the main 6 panel and the panel I ran, which was guys of MLP, and a couple of the other panels. It was stupid numbers. I don't have the exacts. Maybe Final Draft can get them, but he's driving back from Midwestria tonight, so he's unavailable. As it were.
Yeah, actually, I heard that his car broke down. I don't know how
his
that
car did
ended
break down, but he called me earlier today and said that he is on the road and he is on the way home. He wouldn't be home before my show happened, so I'll talk to him a little later tonight on how that went down.
Give him some crap.
Yeah, give him some crap. It's like, dude, fix your car. He's got this.
Yeah,
He's got this
EFR was,
beautiful. He's got this beautiful muscle car that he never drives. He drives that stupid piece of crud car, and it's always breaking down. It's like, dude, drive the other car. You know, it's a beautiful car.
Oh, this is my favorite tangent because his car does not go backwards.
What? He doesn't
It
have
does not
reverse
go
in his
reverse.
car?
It does not go in reverse.
Oh, he hasn't told me that. I'm gonna have to get on him for that.
It's a great story, but anyways,
Yeah.
So through EFR we were able to, I think, almost triple the audience for our convention,
Awesome.
and we are forever thankful that was even a possibility. It's seriously amazing to live stream it to the rest of the world.
Well, hopefully we can do that again next year. Of course, timing and people and everything, because we all have real jobs. So it's one of those things where, okay, this is the first year of all these BronyCons. Let's like take all our vacation time and do this. And it's like everything's great. It's like, okay, we're coming up next year. What do we do? Okay.
Well, luckily we have a few more months head start to plan.
Yes,
for
we have
this
a few more
thing,
months
so
head start to plan this.
I see big things for our live stream side of the con.
Ooh, big things. Hopefully somebody keeps me involved in that because I like big things. I like being parts of big things.
Big things are the best.
Where are we at? We're at 5:26. Let's see, what else? Anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys want to say to your adoring public that came to the con, that didn't come to the con? What do you want? Spit it out, man.
I'm just wondering, Dusty,
What?
what was your favorite part of the whole weekend?
My favorite part of the weekend. I was highly nervous going into my panel, going into Guys of MLP. I was extremely nervous. Because I'd never done that before, especially with like big name VAs. So I actually sat down at the restaurant at the hotel and was eating and coming up with questions and all of that. And then I had somebody come up and say, hey, and it was this little girl, said hello to me. I said, hi, are you Dusty? It's like, yeah. She says, I want your autograph. So it's probably 12, maybe 10. And I give her my autograph and everything is like, this is going to be cool. It took all of my nervousness away. Gone. I was like, I'm going to rock this. So I go up to the panel and it's like, nobody's going to give me hell. This is going to be my show and damn it all. And sure enough, I ran that panel and it was great and everybody had a good time. And right at that point, it was like, nothing's going to faze me. So that was probably my favorite part of that whole weekend was, having the people come up and say hey to me and love what I do, and I love giving back to them and having them, having that back and forth between fans. So, I mean, this is the first year I've ever had like a fan base, okay? So this is freaky enough to me as it is, and then I get all these people come up to me and love what I do and love my singing and love all this stuff. So, it's just one of those things where I'm nervous. When I'm nervous and I'm like, chomping at the bit and not sure that I'm doing anything right, then something like that happens. I go, yeah, you're not so bad off. So
yeah, never underestimate the power of the target demographic.
Never underestimate the power of the target demographic. So yeah, that was the fun for me. Also, I think the Friday night when me and Peter New and LTT Moose and Joe Stevens went to a brew pub together to have dinner. And
our friends is probably one of the coolest people ever.
Yeah, Peter is like a scream. We were sitting there eating dinner, and at just the end of the dinner, we're all having another pint, and all of a sudden he just turns to the three of us and he goes, where else can I have dinner with a guy who could build me a Harley, a guy who could sell me black walnuts, and a guy who works for NASA? Where? So then we all like just busted out laughing. I was like, well, not pretty much nowhere. So it was really weird because LTT Moose gave up that he worked at NASA, and all of a sudden Peter New's fanboying him. It's like, cool. Yeah, well, that was my favorite part. What about Screwy? You there? Screwy.
Maybe.
Maybe. What was your favorite part of the con?
Oh no! Everyone already knows the answer to this one, but when they had that charity going on, and next thing you know, Lee says, "Hey, I want to auction off a hug from me," and so everyone's like, "This is pretty new. Might as well give it a go. So people started, doing a little bit of bids, and then Peter New jumped right on in, and he's like, "I love to get in on a group hug with me and Lee." So then that's when people start going crazy, and it started going to like $50-$60. And then next thing you know, they're like, "And Michelle Creeper!" And then Michelle Creeper comes running down the aisle, and everyone just freaks out, and they're like, "Wow!" So everyone started putting in their auctions to up to $100.
Yep.
And then then no one wanted to go any higher. So I was actually cameraman at the time for the live stream,
Right.
and I'm like, "Well, geez, I can't let this go. I need to get in on this." So I'm like, "Wait, stop! I'll put in $105." And then Lee's like, "Screwball, really? You do that?" And then so they say they can hear an echo from me, by the way.
A little bit. It's okay though. It's not bad. Go ahead.
That was better.
But so when I said $105 easily, I want to go for it. So I actually did win the auction, and I freaked out right there. And I just left my post from the camera, which I'm pretty sure I wasn't allowed to do, and just got the most amazing group hug I've ever had in my life.
That is awesome. Okay, we are at commercial break. Let me pick one here. What have I not shown lately? Let's go with that one. Okay, so we're going to go to commercial, and when we come back, all of you out there are going to be able to ask your questions to these three fine gentlemen and myself about Everfree Northwest, what happened, what's going to happen, anything. We'll figure it out. So, we'll be right back.
Since the beginning of time, the elite of Equestria have longed for pony fashions that truly express the essence of their very souls. Patiently waiting decades, no, centuries, for the perfect pony gown. Today, at long last, Equestria, your wait is over. Let's hear it for the breathtaking designs of Ponyville's own Rarity!
Certainement, Spike. All your ponies, be sure to visit the shop in Ponyville. For the rest of us, be sure to pick up the t-shirts, the bags, or even the posters from WillowFine.com. That's right, WillowFine.com for all your pony needs. And remember, Carousel Boutique, where every fashion says chic, unique, and magnifique. Mwah.
Yeah, he actually did tell me he is coming, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Oh, there you go. Secret stuff we couldn't tell you. So, we're back. I know, but you don't. Anyway, so, before we go into Q&A, I'm going to show off some of the stuff I got this week. So, we're going to make this a regular segment, which is, what did somebody send to Dusty this week? So, we're going to go with art this time. So, one of the great things that I got was this little piece here. Pop it up there. Come on. Yes. And boom goes the dynamite. So, this happened when I went to lunch with Mike the Microphone a weekend or two ago. And as I found out on New Vegas that chucking dynamite at people is the funnest thing in the world. I'm sitting there creeping along, chucking dynamite at people, and somebody drew this and sent it to me, and it's now my Twitter icon, and I love it. And that was Dotori at tumblr.com. So they did that. Thank you very much for that.
That's where that came from. I love it.
Yes. So this one is by a very old friend of mine, Ken Singchow, and I've known him for a number of years from different fandoms. And he drew this cute little picture of me, bald. I'm bald now, people. On my radio show with Cheerily over my shoulder. So I love that piece. Thank you, Ken. Gotta go. And then this. Oh my goodness, this showed up this week, and I squeed like a little school filly. I love this thing. As soon as these came out, I was always wishing that I would get one. And here it is. Oh yeah, the boppers. So it's me and Shirley bopping along. It's not working, but that bops, trust me. And that's Kawaiimo did that. So check that out on DeviantArt. And oh, it's so cute. I love it. And I have a thick, manly mustache for a filly. I'm telling you. Look at that. Look at that thing. Whew. It's awesome. And we'll go on. Scrooby! Where are you? Scrooby?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you doing?
Oh man, pretty good. Pretty good. My computer's kind of being a bugger, and I'm trying to deal with it. But it's yeah, drama.
Deal with it, Philly. Got another new picture for you.
Tons of questions. I'll tell you that. Where to start off? Okay, here's one. This one is from Mac Attack.
Hi, Mac.
Okay.
Mac is one of the very first people ever to buy the Stay Brony My Friends shirt at WeLoveFine.com.
Yeah.
And you too can buy that shirt just by going to WeLoveFine.com and entering Stay Brony. And that will pop up that shirt and all the other Everfree Radio shirts, like this one here, which was from Everfree Northwest, which I bought when I was there, which is an awesome shirt.
Oh, I love that shirt.
Yes, it's an awesome shirt. So if you want to be a cool dude like Mac, go to WeLoveFine.com, and you can use our code EFR10 to get 10% off that order for the shirt for this show.
I wonder if I can get mine free.
I had to buy mine, sucker, so you ain't getting one free.
Oh.
I'm the host of this show. So
if I was to wear your size, it'd basically be
it'd be a night shirt on you. That's for sure.
I'm a small guy.
Yes, you are. Go for it.
Okay, so from Mac Attack, what's the one major thing each of you took away from the first ever Everfree Northwest?
Bejoty, go.
Who wants to take that one first?
Somebody.
I can take that one.
Okay.
Well, for me, I was actually head of staff, so this is my first time staffing anything of this magnitude, and so I definitely have learned how to staff better next year. And, you know, I definitely obviously want to get more staff next year, but, like, you know, where do we need staff? What do they need to do? And things like that.
Yeesh.
Royal?
I gotta say that what I really took away from it was how much people care in this fandom. I wrote that, I was the one that gave the speech at the start, and I wrote that speech because it was for me, and I was actually kind of surprised by how well it resonated with everybody, and I was so very thankful to know that from everyone, that they really believed in it too.
That speech gave me an awesome idea for you guys for next year, which I will give to you as soon as the show's over. By the way.
Sure thing.
Man, so yeah, being the lead for the event, there's so many things I took away from it that I learned to improve for next year, but the one thing I'd say I learned the most is just to never underestimate how amazing this community is, and it continually blows my mind, because I feel like I say that every few weeks, but to see people out in like the longest possible line, just without a care in the world, making the best weekend happen for themselves, without any events, without any performances, no VAs, just hanging out with each other like it's the best weekend of their lives.
That's what I keep stressing to people. I've been to these things for 20 plus years. If you go there to meet your friends and talk to them and have a good time with them, everything else is gravy. If you're standing in a line, make friends. Because why be upset sitting in a line when you can't do anything about it? Make some friends. So all of a sudden, I'm walking past these lines and people are going, "Dusty, hey, how you doing?" And I'll sign an autograph and I'll talk to them about something or other and move on. But sometimes I'd go past these lines and they're just talking to each other and having a great time. You know, talking about their My Little Pony cards or blind bags or whatever, just having a great time. And you know, that's something I really like to see. I'd love to see more of at other cons. You know, where people are just having a good time.
So this one is... Oh. Sorry. I'm having such leg problems. Every pause I hear, I think someone's done talking. It's ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what's sucking up my internet today, but this one is from Screw Loose on Twitter, and the question for you guys is, what was the reason for the date shift between 2012 and 2013?
Man, there's a few. I can't remember what the primary reason when we first decided to change. It was a while back when I made that decision. Ro, do you remember what the main push for that?
The main real push for it was just, I think that... Oh, yeah. It was the hotel.
Oh, just the available weekends?
Yeah, they, well, it was not only that, but there's actually a lot of conventions happening in September.
Yeah.
Or rather, August, excuse me.
Yeah.
My brain is fried. And that ended up being the, you know, up against PAX and a few other things. We ended up, through a variety of factors, coming to a different date, if I remember properly.
Yeah, there was a lot. One of them was like some school started when our convention was, so people missed out on that. Moving earlier in the summer saves it from that. When we were looking at earlier times, we were trying to balance between all the local conventions, and our weekend ended up hitting one of the largest conventions in the U.S., but they're not near us, so it's kind of the best of our choices. But.
Yeah. Well, that and you get the holiday weekend for the U.S. So
yeah,
that one falls on the holiday weekend, so most people can travel. Might be a little more expensive, but at least they get the extra day. So
it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Next. Just opening it back up. This one is from Indubitable.
Indubitably.
Indubitable.
Indubitable.
It's close. Question is, when will we receive information on volunteering for Everfree Northwest 2013?
Take it away, Galileo.
Yeah, that should... More likely that will be sometime in October. I am not ready to do volunteering right now. I'm definitely, if you're interested and you're over 18, go ahead. And if you didn't actually volunteer last year, just go ahead and buy your badge now. And we can figure it out later and add you to the system. You can definitely shoot me an email at staff@everfreenw.com just to let me know, and I will just keep you until I'm ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
To clarify that, the way that our staff registration works is that if you need to, you need to buy a badge the first year that you staff, and then every year after that, the staff is comped. As long as, but if you work again, then you get it free again, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
Yep. And when we open staff applications, we'll make sure to let everyone know. We'll raise it on all channels, all of our social media, and all the local Brony media sites that you know of.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
Mm-hmm. All of them. So this one is from Moonbolt. Question is, what is the general startup process in planning a con? Where do you begin?
First of all, you take your brain out of your head and you put it in a jar.
Yeah,
First of all, you shoot yourself.
You sell your soul. You make sure that you don't need to be have anything else to do in your life for the next year.
Quit your job. Yeah.
But honestly, the first step is to ask yourself and everyone that you're working with to make sure you're serious that you want to start a convention.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other great things you can do for live events around the state, around the community. But the first serious step when everyone knows that is to get yourself incorporated, to make sure you are hitting it from a professional level, because a convention is a professional event.
It's a business, and you really have to treat it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might sound like it's a little bit. It's not always going to be fun, I think, is the trick, and you have to steel yourself for that, because you're gonna have to make tough choices. You're gonna have to do a lot of work, and like I was saying, I quit my job to be part of the convention in the last few months. So you make hard choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to some extent, you lose being a fan just a little bit. Not everything, but
Not everything,
sometimes
yeah.
the convention comes before the show.
It becomes different. You know, you don't lose being a fan. I think it just becomes a different thing. You know, you have to, particularly if you interact with voice actors and that sort of thing, you have to put your fanboyism aside and really concentrate on the fact that these are people and they do a job as well. So, yeah, I think it kind of breaks the illusion a little bit. So I think long and hard about it if you're going to, if that's what you want to do.
So this one is from Wub Intolerate.
Hi, Wub.
Wubba. Love Wubs. Question is, so what gave you the idea to open a convention in Seattle?
We all live here.
But there you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
And also, the Seattle is, when that demographic was published, it was the largest concentration of pony fans in the United States, the Washington State, and I believe the Seattle area. So.
Yeah, I think you're talking about that big first Brony survey.
The first Brony
Yeah.
survey. They had us as the highest Brony per capita ratio, I think.
And having Vancouver only being a couple hours away doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't at all.
Doesn't hurt, no. Because it's very easy to get people from DHX Media and the VAs and all those people close to come down. I'm not sure what airline ticket fares are from the hop, skip, and a jump from here to there, but it can't be that much.
They can also drive.
They can also drive if they want to.
If they want to, and it's only it's only 2 or 3 hours to get from Vancouver to here. So
Yeah. I mean, it's 5 hours from here to get to LA. I mean, I'm going to Equestria LA in November, and I got to drive 5 hours to get there. So it's closer than that. Next.
This one's from Dark Aurora. Question is, are there any guests that you'd like to have but have been unable to get?
Good question.
Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's also, I want to look into getting the writers, the writing side of the production.
That's the one thing I was missing was some of the writers.
Yeah, it's slightly more difficult for the animators are obviously right next to us, and a lot of the writers are down in LA. So.
Well, but the other side of that is just negotiations, particularly for the negotiations for voice actors are much more well defined versus. This is one of the few shows where the show staff has become as really largely as in some ways as famous as the voice actors. So it's unexplored territory.
Yes.
This one I'll reword in a bit. This is from Crazy Local Girl. Question is, has a fan ever met you? If so, what was yours and their reaction?
Fans of us?
Yeah, like for all of us. Like, has there been anyone that just ran up to you like, "Oh my God, you're whoever," and I love you?
Yes.
It's few. Obviously, organization of a con, you're kind of behind the scenes most of the time, not really in the limelight. But I will say I've gotten a few hugs.
Yay, hugs. I had a kid come to my desk at work because I sell motorcycle parts across the counter, and him and his dad came in last week, and he basically, I know you. You might. What's your name?
Yeah, we're not nearly as famous as Dusty.
Dusty Rose. And he went, ah! Yeah, he basically went like a little schoolgirl. It was funny, but it was awesome. But that was the only time that I've been doing this I got recognized at work. But I did have another Brony come in and talk to me about helmets just the other day.
Yeah. I had a few people on Friday night come up to me and ask me to sign their t-shirt, and I was like, wait, what? You want me to sign your t-shirts? And maybe they knew who I was, they wanted everyone to sign the t-shirts, but I was just like, what the heck is going on?
There you go.
Yeah, I got quite a few hugs after the when I was in the lobby down at the Holiday Inn I just walked inside and people recognized me, and that was very strange.
Yeah.
I got it.
Well, you just made that awesome speech. I mean, come on.
That was why.
Oh, that was great. I still applaud you.
Mine. It was actually right at the con, like even before it started. Me, Skipsy, and Ramble, we were eating supper, and next thing you know, we hear this voice right behind us saying, "Is that Screwball's voice?" And then I turn around, and there's this one guy just sitting there eating on his own, and then I'm like, "Well, hi, I'm Screwball," and then we had a good little chat, and then right after supper, we were hanging out kind of around the area, and then next thing you know, I hear another person saying, "That's Screwball's voice," and then they turn, and I look over the little wall thing, and then there's, sure enough, another one eating on his own, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? Like, not even an hour, I'm already, people know who I am, and I freaked out, and it was a blast.
That's because you're the man.
Oh, thank you. You're more of the man.
Look at me. That's what it is.
This one is from 1 second, just speed reading through this one. This one's from Cowboy Dave. Question for the Everfree Northwest staff. Did you guys get much of a break from the constant workflow to enjoy yourselves at the con?
No. Sadly.
No.
I was
I saw forced 20 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of our staff worked themselves tired. I mean, I was understaffed. I was hoping for a lot more staff, but a lot of our staff gave so much of their time and did it willingly. They were prepared to do it, and they wanted to do it, and I applaud them all for doing that. And that was one of the things that made me so happy about this convention.
Yeah, that is a lot of us. I mean, the reason we started this is because we want to do everything we can to make an amazing event, and that pretty much means you're going to be working the entire time to make sure that's an amazing event.
Yep.
And you guys did an amazing job, nonetheless, that's for sure.
It was a time. Running it, I think everyone there was running themselves ragged, but it was, there's a statement somebody made to me. The intention of running a con should not be to have fun, but your fun should be that other people are having fun. And if you go into it with that mindset, then you do have fun even when you're running yourself into the ground. Really.
Yeah, you're hosting a giant party. You need to make sure your guests are happy, but there's some honor in that. I also have to throw a quick shout out to Kat Whitney for keeping me sane, giving me food, and yelling at me to go to bed for the weekend.
Not necessarily in that order.
Kat.
She did the art for some of our a lot of our announcements, guest announcements,
Yes.
and a few of our icons that you've been flashing on the live stream.
Absolutely.
So, yay, Kat.
And I want to take my shout out right now to the Music is Magic documentary that came out like over a week ago.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, the guys who did that, they contacted me months before the con on Facebook. Like, I run the Everfree Northwest Facebook, and they were like saying, "Hey, we're doing this documentary," and I asked them what they were doing. I talked to them about it and became friends with them on Facebook. I pushed their Kickstarter like crazy to make sure that happened, and I'm so very happy with how that documentary came out. They are the greatest group of people I've met, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them next year. And big thank you to Michaela for the Fluttershy human painting she did for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys need to remind me to put that documentary on our con Twitter tonight, because that was seriously amazing.
Yeah.
This one is from Brongar. Hope I said your name right. The question is, what was the local media like, and did you turn away anyone looking for a freaky story?
Actually, our PR was in making sure that we didn't get any of the freaky people asking the questions. That definitely was one of our big things, to make sure we didn't get somebody who wanted to ask those questions.
Yeah, and it really came down to, we had a media team hanging out with people hanging out with any of the outside media at the convention to be with them, to make sure they're not misrepresenting our community, and just kind of having and generally just making sure that they're keeping people honest, I guess, is the best way I could put it. But you know, make sure they don't have any ulterior motives.
Yeah, big cons need that. So basically, if you get over, 500 people at your convention, you really need a PR department, pretty much. I know we have one here at Further Confusion here in San Jose. I mean, we have one guy that does nothing but deal with PR. So if somebody wants to come in with a press badge, you have somebody who follows them at all times to make sure they aren't doing anything stupid. So, and it's just one of those things one of those bad things you have to do, because anybody who's anybody will take advantage to sell ad time.
It's true enough.
Sad thing, but next.
This one is from MLP Problems on Twitter. Question is, will there be 2 main locations for the con again next year?
No.
No.
One.
There's one hotel. The hotel is quite fantastic. It's an actual conference center, and it's
one
gonna be
epic conference center. One.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be awesome.
Ooh, I've been in there once, and it was actually, it's real nice and a lot bigger and a lot more roomy, which is nice, instead of having to run up and down that hill over and over again. Oh man, did I get workout there?
Yes.
At least it was great weather over the weekend.
It was awesome weather over the weekend, which is amazing for Seattle.
That was the strangest bit of Seattle weather I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, that is one reason I thought that August time is fine. August is our amazing summer. We get it for about a month. That's it.
But it's so variable. It could have been really hot.
Oh, it was hot enough.
Stay.
It's hot for the first couple of days, and then it just kind of crashed down to a good temperature.
I brought a jacket, never used it. I thought it was going to rain. Somebody told me it was supposed to rain on Saturday, so I brought a jacket. Never used it.
Well, that was a good plan.
Yeah.
That's good on you.
Well, I've been to Seattle. I went to Seattle for like 10 days a decade ago, and it rained for 7 of them. I was like,
Well, we almost hit this is a complete tangent, but we almost actually went our longest stretch without rain, I think, since the 40s, not just recently.
wow.
We got rain like 1 day shy of the actual record.
Oh yeah, so close.
It was
Like our
awesome.
records.
Next.
So this one's from Adam on Twitter. Question is, if you could give any key advice to an up-and-coming convention, what would it be?
Ooh. Good question.
I guess one thing is, we've already addressed some of that earlier. The definitely another thing that kind of, if you're going to do it locally, definitely have a game plan. Kind of get a nice little niche group of local bronies that you know very well that can do certain things. One that can plan, one that can do PR. Just try to get a good niche going. And even if your convention is like maybe 300 people, you definitely need to be organized as much as possible and make a game plan.
Don't just have it. Well, and taking it from us, I would strongly suggest you don't just you yourself and 5 friends to start it. It's if you can find more people beforehand and get everybody to get on board with it. Also, really communicate. Make sure that
Communication.
your email, that everybody is very clear that they need to be checking their email all the time. That one of the things we're talking about setting up is a Twitter account so that we can push it to our staff. These lines of communication along such a large organization are absolutely key.
Absolutely.
Also, diversity of personality is good. If you have the main 6, if you have the main 6 as your core, you'll do pretty well actually.
Yep.
I think we kind of did so.
I think I'll echo the earlier sentiments of making sure this is exactly what you want to do and go about it in a completely professional manner.
Don't do it half.
What might be a good idea is if you have another local convention to you, volunteer. Volunteer on that convention and look at the inside of that convention. Seek out experienced convention organizers. If somebody who's a brony has been working on an anthropomorphic convention, for years. Don't, you know, shun them just because they're in another fandom, because they know more than anybody as to how a fandom, how a convention runs. So poke anybody who's worked at a convention before. Go work at a convention that's not, you know, work at a different convention and try to see what goes on at that convention and see if you can actually take what they've learned and not make their mistakes. Because, you know, because they've made their mistakes. So go find out how they're doing it and go, hey, that's a good idea, or hey, that's a bad idea, and take that and run with
Bejoty,
it.
silence your cell phone.
I just did. I got another good one. Utilize your local community.
Yes.
You'd be surprised, like you were saying, how you had dinner with, you know, people from NASA, and you know, people have these amazing abilities. I'm sure if you just talk to your local community, you'll find a professional web developer. You'll find like 3 DJs that do work with actual musicians, like huge performances. You can find people that you can pretty much create a convention staff out of your local Brony community.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would like to, that I think I should stress, is that you really need to not go into it with the intention of having fun in the general sense. You're not going to, it's not just a party that you're going to be part of.
Yeah.
You are responsible, and particularly if you charge any admission, you are responsible for a lot of people.
Yep.
And that is a really big task to take on. You're playing with lots of, depending on how many you got, even with 300, you're playing with lots of money, and you can't,
no being funny with the money.
Yeah, you can't afford. You really need to.
There's a lot of people that
take it seriously.
There's a lot of people that you're responsible to, not just the people coming to your convention, but your local tax board. Anybody, a lot of different, government agencies, where if you take in that kind of money, you have to pay taxes, blah 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 blah. So there's lots of legalese that you have to get through. If you're
get your finances and legals in order.
Financials and legals in order, or you're in deep trouble. Deep. Next, Tree.
This was asked to me from message, and he just wanted to ask me from a dissension. A question he asked was, if you could have one more person at group hug, who would it have been? And I'd just like to say Andrew Francis by far. That man is amazing. Every time I ever had a talk with him on Twitter, Facebook, Skype, anywhere, he's always been real nice and just an overall amazing person. And if I wish I wish he was there at that moment, and then he would join in on the hug, and then but yeah, he's an awesome guy, and just shout out to him. So I just want to make that clear.
If you've got Andrew, you've got to add Lee Tokar to that as well.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, well, he was there. He was right in that group hug. Lee Tokar, Peter New, Michelle Creeper, and I wish Andrew was definitely in that as well, because it was an amazing group hug.
There you go.
I'll send you a YouTube video of it after show, and it shows me freaking out. But okay, I'll go on next question. This one's from NDude737. What was the feedback from the hotel staff? Was there any negative feedback at all?
Royal, I think you probably have most of that in your brain right now.
Yeah. The Marriott had very little, like, anything, had quite positive things to say about us. The Holiday Inn, a little bit less so. We didn't have, we had to. I think their main concern was the music, and that kind of was a sticking point later on in the weekend. But we really kind of ended up coming to terms with each other and really just saying, hey, this is the convention, and this is what we want to do, and this is how we're trying to run it. And it really just went through when we could calmly talk it out. It actually went quite well. But I say that of the two, the Holiday Inn was less was the stressor, I suppose.
I will say, we heard through our hotel rep at the hotel staff that they were surprised of just how kind and easygoing the attendees were. For any event that they've ever had in that hotel, the attendees blew them away.
Yeah, they had to say, they just had nothing but positive things to say about the attendees. That when there was a line around the building, they were wondering why no one was rioting and there were not pitchforks and fire, basically.
Yeah.
So it was quite a, and that's actually, I believe, almost an exact quote, which is
The lady, I'm not sure if she was the liaison for the Holiday Inn, but she was a little taller lady with the black hair. What was her name?
Melissa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that her name?
Yep.
She was awesome.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Every time I was around her, she had a big smile on her face, and she was loving life and having a good time, and everything was cool, and it was just really awesome to have her around, because there was no problem. It's like, you guys need water, here, water. You guys need towels, here, towels. And it was really, she was really a nice lady. So
beyond our business relationship, I really do think we've made a friend with Melissa.
They also the hotel staff at the somebody had given Melissa a pony badge from the dealer's hall late on, or like, you know, and it was like late Saturday or early Sunday, and one of the other people on the staff wanted to know where she could get one, and, you know, of course this was like right after the con, and everybody had packed up and stuff, so I ended up giving her one, and they were very pleased. You know, they wore it. I heard from Melissa later that they wore their buttons with pride for a week afterwards.
Oh, awesome.
So that was really cool to hear.
It's great. Go, Screwy.
This one is from, there we go. This one's from Jonah Ken, I don't know how to say your last name, Ken Ziora. And question is, well, first it says, hey, I'm new to this radio and I love it. Question for Dusty: if you were an MLP, what would be your very special talent?
My very special talent would be Earth Pony centric, and it would be that I could fix anything. So basically, if it's busted, I can fix it. So my cutie mark would be is crossed pistons, because I am a motorcycle mechanic. So I can fix stuff. So I'd be an Earth Pony who could fix things, and I would be out at Sweep Apple Acres fixing whatever, you know, pumps or carts or whatever. I'd have a blacksmith shop somewhere on the outskirts of Ponyville and doing steampunk stuff. I don't know, but that would be me, the epic Earth Pony who could fix stuff. That would be what I do.
Ooh, this one is from Firemain.
What's up, dude?
Awesome guy, and he makes amazing wood carvings.
Yes.
And he likes to ask you guys if you would like carvings of your OCs for next year.
I would love that.
That would be very cool.
Oh, goodness. The gifts are always amazing.
I think that's a yes.
Yeah,
that's a yes.
That's a
That
yes.
is an absolute yes, my friend.
He's making a list and checking it twice. Trust me, for next year.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I can't wait for mine to get here. It's just gonna be amazing.
Yes.
I gotta tweet about it 24/7. But yeah, so I guess Firemain, I'll talk to him after showing about what's up, and then we can see what goes on further from there. So sorry. Oh, stupid IRC. This one is from Captain Olvar. Question for you, Dusty, is can you play Winter Wrap-Up on your harmonica or any pony music for that matter?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. So.
He actually gave me a link to that's a link on Winter Wrap-Up on the harmonica.
Oh, really?
And I could definitely give that to you after show.
Yeah, get that to me.
Yes. This one is from this one's from MLP Problems. Question is favorite interaction with show staff members.
I don't know. For me, it was Andrew Francis. I'm in the lobby of the Holiday Inn, and he's like going past me a million miles an hour. I go, Andrew, hey Andrew, how you doing? He said, oh, this is awesome! I'm getting presents. And he's got this scarf around him, and I'm going, dude, see ya, it's cool. And he's like, he he just takes off. It was like a 12-year-old at like summer camp. It was funny. It was great. What about you guys?
For me, on Friday night, I had dinner with Sibsy, Raven, Raven's husband Troy, and the other. I'm completely blanking on the other. Big Jim, and my girlfriend Heather was with me, and we were. I mean, all those guys were acting like big kids, so we were having so much fun with them. You know, it's definitely the highlight of my weekend.
Awesome.
At least for me, it was. It has to be a toss-up between Tabitha and Andrew. I met Andrew probably more time. I spent more time on the elevator with him than anywhere else in the con, and he was because he would leap into the elevator as the doors were closing and dodge his security, and then you know, like, he would talk to me, and then he ended up giving me. I have it on my wall right now. He ended up basically saying that if I wanted an autograph, you know, after this 12th time, that I could just come to the autograph hall and he would sign whatever I wanted, and that was really cool.
Oh, cool.
Tabitha, I got to talk to her for like 15 minutes before one of her panels, and I asked for a picture because I'm shameless like that. And I was sitting between her and Kathy Westlock, and Tabitha like put her head on my shoulder for the picture, and I tensed up completely. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And so you have me in this picture on my phone being completely like, you know, looking like I'm about to spaz out because, you know, the ramrod, you know, the ramrod straight, like, what am I supposed to do in this situation sort of look. Yeah. It was pretty hilarious.
I have a fun story from Saturday evening. As I came back to the Holiday Inn to make sure that the Pony Stock headliner kind of that whole evening went well, I caught both Andrew Lee and one of our security members down at the little restaurant down at the bottom of the Holiday Inn, and Lee stops me because he has to tell me the story because he had this revelation. So he said, "Austin, I found this out a few days ago, and I need to tell you this." So I was talking to Sherry, one of his agents, and within the conversation, it clicked to me. This my best friend, Austin, that I'd been talking to for these past few months, is the same exact Austin as the Austin that's leading this event.
Oh.
And he just tells me this. Like, I had no idea that you were you.
Was this the Saturday night in the bar?
Yeah. Right before the Pony Stock started.
Yeah, I saw them in the bar.
I'm not going to let him live that down either because I've been spending all this time talking to him, making sure he's ready for this convention.
I saw him in the
bar.
And
he thought I was just a good friend that was looking out for him or something.
Oh,
awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Mine, I'm not gonna say the hug again, but when I wanted to finally get some autographs from the guys, so I'm like, well, let's do this. So I got all my money, ran on over, and I want them to sign my little screwball hat that I custom made. So I give it to Lee, and Lee's like, "Oh my God, I have to thank you again for that amazing hug and the $105 you donated to it." So he gives me another great big hug, and then he's like, "There you go, that's a bonus." So then he signs it, and then I go on over to Peter, and Peter signs it, and then I go over to Andrew Francis. I'm like, "Andrew, can you sign this for me?" He picks it out of my hands, and then he looks at me, he's like, "You want me to sign this?" And then I'm like, "Yes, I want you to sign this." He's like, "Well, are you sure? Because it's amazing. It's so well made." And I'm like, "No, you have to sign it. I need it signed." So he's like, "Okay, fine." So he signs it. I'm like, "Thank you so much." And that also made the con for me. Actually, one other which is real short was when Michelle Krieber signed the CD for me, and she said, "Hey," she put, "Hey Screwball, thanks. An apple tree for everything. Michelle Krieber, AB." Nice. And that melted my heart. So it's just
melted about 7 times that weekend, I think.
Yeah, there's on the other side of things. Speaking of Michelle, I think the thing that will always make me the happiest is when Michelle ran up to me at the con and said, "Hans, it's good to see you, and then hugged me. And that just, she continues to blow me away every single time I meet her, I gotta say.
Cool. She did know who I was, which is amazing, because she's who she is, right? And I come walking into the Holiday Inn upper floor, and I come walking in to talk to the final draft, and she and her father and mother are over there practicing with Mando and the guys, and it's like, I come walking in, and she waves me, "Hi, Dusty!" And it's like, goes back to what she was doing. I was like, I hadn't even met her yet. And they're like, okay, hi. I was like, you're Michelle Krieber. You should know who I am. But there you go.
Her mother is an amazing person.
Oh, her mother's awesome.
Yeah,
I got to talk with her a few times. She's an amazing person.
Next.
Everyone's got a copy of Michelle's CD, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah,
No.
everyone in the IRC, everyone better have a copy of the CD.
I like
Copy
to
the-
hug this freaking CD. It's
up
so
for
well
sale.
done.
You can get it signed,
What?
too.
Oh, I'm never gonna give this thing away.
Go, Screwy.
Okay, where's the one that I just had? This one is from Rainbow Main Acoustic. He says, "Hi, just want to say I love you guys." And a question for you, Dusty, is how often does that mustache need a touch up?
Not often, you know. I've got my princess comb right here, so it's like, you know, I just enjoy, you know, a nice combing with the princess comb. So yeah, I touch it up like once a week, and you know, just keep that. No problem.
Sorry,
Rainbow
I'm
Man
just-
Acoustic, I love you too. Don't you worry.
Yes.
I just gotta love you too from Shy Guy.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm just speed reading through these.
Like Flutter Guy. I don't want to talk about it.
Ooh, sorry, I'm still trying to get used to this IRC. It's hurting my eyes. Oh, okay, here we go. This one's from Adam on Facebook, on Twitter. Question is, what was the largest hurdle you had to overcome?
In planning the convention?
Probably.
I guess, yeah, before and after, yeah.
I think really it was just even though a lot of us have con experience, we've staffed cons before. Not many of us had, or should I say, I don't think any of us did have high level con experience. So we kind of went through a trial by fire, and I think that was the hardest. That was the biggest hurdle to leap, was getting ourselves together, getting everything working, and just making it happen.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest hurdles was proving to the community, the corporations, and even ourselves that we were serious. We were going to make an event that would blow everyone's minds, and it took a lot of work to convince, especially Hasbro, that you know, we knew what we were doing and we were prepared to go all the way.
Yeah.
I will echo what Royal said. I definitely, actually, my con experience before this was just a general attendee, so I had no clue how to staff a con, and I jumped in there, did it, and somehow I did the best job I could do, and definitely I got a lot of positive reviews, so I did something right.
Yep.
Yep.
You two were amazing.
Yep.
Don't think otherwise.
You can't learn unless you do something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Deep into it.
So this one is from George Martinez. George Martinez. Bleh. I can't remember. George Martinez. Hope I said that right. Question is, Dusty, are you
Shaken,
afraid
not
your
stirred.
mustache? Say again?
Shaken, not stirred.
Jeez. Dusty, are you afraid that your mustache will become self-aware and turn on you one day?
Actually, no, because I take steps to make sure that doesn't happen.
Awesome.
Yes.
What are those steps?
That's on a need-to-know basis, and right now you don't need to know.
I'm actually curious, have you ever grown out like a beard besides the mustache? Because I have, like, people who've seen my face, I have a goatee going on, so I'm being very curious how your mustache has been through the years?
Last time I had a full beard was just before I cut this in, which was 1987, when we went deer hunting in the dead of January in Michigan. So the only reason I would grow a full beard is to go deer hunting. And then 1 year I cut this in, and it's never been different since.
Huh.
So, yeah, my mustache is older than most people in this fandom. So.
It's older than me, jeez. So this one is from Colgate.
Brushy.
Brushy. Question is, well, likes to say, my favorite panel at Everfree Northwest was the Men of MLP panel by far.
Oh, thank you.
And the question was, or is, why can't I read? Was there any other? I'll try to reword this. Was there any other panels that you guys liked or that were any less awesome from the other side of the table?
Huh?
Oh, I go. This question means.
Are they asking what other panels we liked?
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Let's go with that.
I did word this all wrong, but let's just go for that.
I love the main 6 panel because basically Kathy Westluck took it over and basically made it awesome. And she basically flustered Final Draft and got him in the middle of it, and they actually did a scene where she would just throw out, "We're all going bowling," and then everybody just went off. It was freaking hilarious. It was great. So that was my favorite main 6 panel.
Yeah, actually, the only panel I got to be a part of was the closing ceremonies, and it was unbelievable. I think that was like the biggest mix of emotions I have ever had in a single event, and I went from like being completely happy to be like before I got on stage, I was like crying, and then I do my little bit about thinking of stuff, and anybody who heard me like go over my words and actually say something wrong, I was in the back of my mind thinking, do not cry. So it was, it was such an awesome experience, and I was so happy with how that con happened.
Oh yeah.
My favorite panel was any one that went well.
I think they all went well.
Because I say that specifically because I was running screaming in the background trying to make sure everything was happening correctly.
With its tail on fire.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it just, most of them were incredible, but it was just the sheer effort of making sure everything was happening was kind of kept me from actually watching anything.
See, that's why World Code has a docked tail now. He burnt most of it off.
Yeah. Well, he's a steward for a reason of Canada of the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the other side of things, I somehow managed to miss pretty much every single panel. Running around between the 2 hotels doing all sorts of everything. I did manage to see, I think, about 10 minutes of the CMC panel, which is pretty great. But I guess I'll use this opportunity to shout out the pony stock performances, which for the bits and pieces that I saw of those were pretty darn awesome. Yes. And the one event that I actually managed to force myself to watch at least 15 minutes of was the headlining act on Saturday night, and that also coincides with the one moment during the con that brought me to tears of joy. It was during Michelle Krieber singing "I Hope You Dance." It was the song. Oh, that was amazing.
Well done. Yes, I was standing next to Daniel Ingram the entire night. And it's just this huge smile on his face during the entire concert. Just this huge smile, and it's like, especially when they started when Mando Pony and Acoustic Brony broke out into smile, and he goes running up the center aisle, boom, and he was like up on stage singing with everybody else. It was just a moment.
Oh, I missed that.
It was just a moment in time.
Look at all these things.
It was awesome. He and Kasumi Evans were both up there singing "Smile, Smile, Smile" with the group. I mean, it's like all these bronies rushed the stage, and it's like you got everybody singing it. It's like it was like a 30-person chorus, all out of key, but it didn't matter, and it was awesome.
This one is. This one is from ML Brony, the ML Brony, and the question is, what's your favorite pony? Yeah.
I'll answer that first. Mine is Fluttershy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say that the pony I identify most with, of the main six especially, is Rainbow Dash.
I gotta say Twilight, and that's the reason why I took this job. Because it has everything to do with making lists and checking them and double checking them, and yeah.
Let's make the checklist to make the checklist so we can check the checklist off. So we
make the checklist, and then go insane, and then have a nervous breakdown when everything things start going wrong.
Mm-hmm. My girlfriend is butting in, and she wants to say her favorite is Mina.
Mina?
Yeah, Pinkamena.
Oh, Pinkamena.
Ah, yes.
Pinkamena.
Yeah.
Sad Pinky?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, she's a little bit grimdark.
Cheerily. Everybody knows Cheerily is my favorite pony.
Fluttershy.
Because we graduated high school together.
Mine's Fluttershy by far. I love Fluttershy.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah,
My sister's bugging me about, she's Twilight as well.
Nice. Come on, Screwy, we're running out of time.
This one's from What Tolerate. Another really popular question. New Lunar Republic or the Solar Empire?
Luna.
Luna!
Yeah!
That's 2 out of 3.
Yep, what's the other?
Yeah, I gotta think for half a second here.
No think, just act!
Which side of the castle are you working on?
Hmm?
Which side of the castle do you work on, Royal Coat?
Well, with Celestia, but I support the
No matter what he answers, he's going to hear about it tonight.
Yep.
the new Everfree Republic.
There you go.
Clap to that.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. Taking over. I'm going to be president of that one. I'm the candidate.
Hey, we've already got a strong army of people that'll fight for us.
Yep. Done.
You'd be surprised as to how strong the new Lunar Republic is.
Couple more, Screwy. Let's go.
Okie dokie. Sorry, I'm just quickly going through. There's one in particular that I'm saving for the last question. Okay, here's one. This is from Pony Tim. Question: how many Everfree Northwest 12 staffers do you think the convention will be able to keep for Everfree Northwest 2013?
Was the question?
Is that implying that the numbers go down?
What it's implying is how many people who worked last year are going to work next year.
Anybody who wants to do it again last year can do it again next year. Definitely, I think most of them really want to do it again next year. So, yeah.
I will answer this question by saying that we have. I was being completely serious when I said we have our private army. Our security detachment is fanatic and devoted to the con. So
yes,
at least them.
And we need to talk about them.
Yeah.
Something happened with me, and we haven't had a chance to talk. But
okay.
But yeah, staff really wants to come back again next year. I after the con ended, people were like, "Oh, when can I do staff?" It's like, I need a chance to breathe. Can you wait a bit? But like people are already asking to do staff again, and people are already who didn't do staff want to do it again, want to do it next year. So the anticipation is there.
Someone to drop just because we can't no one can do anything right now. There's no con to work on.
There's no con to work on.
Exactly.
And the advertisement, I think we were getting advertisement requests for the con book for next year.
Yeah.
Like in a week of the end of the con. The people are eager.
Yes, quite eager.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Quite eager.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Scurry, we're gonna go with 2 more. Make them good.
Okay. This is from EQI Joe Stevens. Can we get EdCon to coincide with Everfree Northwest?
Joe Stevens, you are a fool.
You're a fool, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Plank and whack you upside the head with him.
And we love you for it.
No, we'd lose out on Raven.
Then you have Plank on the brain. There you go.
I should have just stole that Plank plushie of his because damn, I liked hugging that thing.
It was great. I stole the camera for 30 seconds, prior to something, and I'm like talking to the camera, and he's on the other side, and he has Plank up behind me, behind the wall, and having a great time. And I said, "Hey, Plank, how you doing?" And Plank is talking to me, and we're going back and forth. And as I'm about to end it, he like tosses Plank at me. I just grab Plank and go, "Ah!" And he's like right there. Plank's face is like perfect. "Hey, Plank, how you doing?" It's like I caught him straight out of the air. It was perfect. I haven't seen footage of that yet, but I have to find it. It was funny. Okay, last question. Do it.
Oh yeah, this one I've been keeping for quite some time now. 1 second, I just gotta find it. Why, for the love of all things holy and... oh, here we go. 281. You close your convention with a quote. "We may be a long way from Equestria, but I think we are discovered something that maybe it's a little closer than we think. Take that and carry it forward with you. Going with that thought, how do you think Everfree Northwest impacted the community as a whole?"
I gotta say that I'm glad that somebody actually wrote down that quote, because I was so sleep deprived at that point that I can barely remember it, or somebody remembers it anyway. But I think personally that we showed just how much we can unite our fan community and still be true to what the show is, and I hope that we can continue that to make it such a pure experience for people, to be able to come there and really not have to be afraid to be themselves, to enjoy this wonderful little show.
Yes.
And if that's the one thing that we can do, that's the one thing that I hope for, I think.
Awesome.
And I do believe the portal to Equestria should be ready by April of next year.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Equestrian Vengeance about that one. But so with that question, sadly, we're at the end of the show.
Oh.
I know. But we get still the weekly call out of shows for the week. And we're going to start out with Reading Rainbow. Are we on an on week or an off week, Screwy? Do we know?
Reading Rainbow. I'm not sure.
I don't remember either. Check in Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for Reading Rainbow. And they are a group that does narration of your favorite FIM fan fiction. And they're usually every other week. I think they were on last week. They're off this week. They're on the week after that. Bi-weekly, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday. Cutie Art Crusaders. CAC find the best art in the fandom, and they discuss it like it's fine art. And they do a really good job of it. And that's Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Then our boys, Equestria Inquirer, which would be Joe Stevens, Tech Rat, and LTT. Oh, come on, Screwy.
Huh.
LTT.
What? I'm lost. Sorry, I was zoned out. What are you talking about?
I set you up and you missed it. Whiffed.
Oh, come on.
Look a
Give me
moose.
a break.
There you go. LTD Look a Moose. That's Equestria
I
Inquirer.
got you, Dusty. Don't you worry.
Yes.
Oh.
Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Sketchy Sounds live songcast. That's 2 hours live with Sketchy. And that's Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. I did some background vocals for him, so hopefully that song premieres this week. That would be cool. Brony Breakdown with Saber Spark and Paleo, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Thursdays. Lunar Republic Takeover with Your Queen in Mind, Nightmare Moon is Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And that's the all request show for music. And right after that, we got One Tricks Mixology, which is trance, electro, house, and anything else she wants to throw on this channel. And that's right after the Lunar Republic Takeover on Fridays. Then Saturday, all you waiting for this. This is Michelle Krieber's night, Saturday night. And she has her show, Saturday Night Songs, and that's every Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, when she doesn't have any homework, because school is in. So, that is your list of shows for the week. And we're done. So, I would like to thank everybody for stopping by tonight and joining us. To everybody from Everfree Radio, everybody from Everfree Northwest, Say goodbye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Dusty, so much for having us.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. And thank you all from Screwy, from Cowboy Dave, from Final Draft, from 8-Track, 1-Trick, and everybody here at Everfree Radio. We would like to say that we love you all.
Goodbye.
Yes. Should I do the ending live? I don't know. Should I? No one's even asked me about my hat, which has basically, you know,
I've just been enjoying it.
Someone did.
I'm
It's
upset.
great.
Someone did.
Did they?
Where
I'm
was
upset.
this one? 1 second. I'm looking for this, for love of all things holy.
I thought it was just a normal occurrence.
There's a lot of questions that go through me, and I've been working for 8 days straight.
8 days straight.
Oh, here we go. It's actually from Nika, who's like, "What's with the squid hat?"
Well, this is kind of funny actually, because we went to, you know, the bumper I played earlier tonight. We went to the boardwalk over the weekend, me and Caradwin, and we were playing games of chance, as it were. And I end up doing the pitch. You know, you throw the pitch and you guess the speed. So I end up guessing 47, and sure enough, I hit it. So I ended up winning the squid hat. So, so Caradwin wore it most of yesterday. So I pulled it out just as a ha-ha, and nobody said anything. So I'm sort of sad. I'm sad. I do so much to try and entertain you people. Look at this. I do this to try and entertain you people. Yeah.
Oh yes, actually, Zumwar was the other one. Yeah, he said, "I did," and
too late.
I should have said something, but you know, I've been not getting much sleep, and I've currently been going through jet lag. So yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see y'all next week, and I have no idea who our guest is going to be next week yet. So tune in later in the week, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.